At 11:11 p.m. on June 5th, Archangel Michael whispered a secret you must hear. Skip and risk losing. Open now. At exactly 11:11 p.m. on the night of June 5th, something sacred shifted. The heavens trembled with movement. The veil thinned for a moment not seen by all, but sensed by the awakened. It was not the kind of change the world announces with headlines or sirens. No, this was divine. This was quiet. This was holy. The spirit realm stirred, and Archangel Michael, heaven's chief warrior, broke a long-standing silence. With sword drawn and voice like the roar of thunder wrapped in velvet, he leaned close to the veil that separates heaven from earth and whispered, not to the crowd, not to the curious, but to the chosen, to you. This was no ordinary whisper. It was not random or coincidental. It was intentional, time, consecrated, hidden from the ears of the lukewarm, the distracted, and the deceived. For this message, this warning, this divine transmission is not for everyone. It is not for those who scroll without listening. It is not for those whose hearts are hardened in unbelief. This is for the awakened. This is for the still ones. This is for the souls who have been sensing, without proof, without logic, without confirmation, that something spiritual, something irreversible, is being set in motion. At 11:11 p.m., the skies opened and a classified message was released, sealed in spiritual code, encrypted in divine language, spoken not in thunder but in stillness. And the ones who heard it, they weren't the loudest. They weren't the strongest. They weren't the most popular. They were the ones who were watching, the ones who were waiting, the ones whose spirits were aligned to discern the whisper above the noise. Were you among them? This message isn't simply to inform. It is to warn. It is to equip. It is to prepare. For to miss what was spoken at that sacred hour is to risk spiritual misalignment in a season of divine activation. What was loosed at 11:11 p.m. has a window, a holy countdown that is already in motion. Delay is dangerous. Doubt is deadly. This is not the time for hesitation. This is the hour for obedience, for stillness, for spiritual discernment like never before. This moment carries weight, eternal weight. It's not about superstition or mere numbers. 11:11 on June 5th was not a coincidence. It was a heavenly key, a code written in divine language, unlocking a portal in the unseen realm. Archangel Michael, heaven's enforcer, did not move for just anything. He moved because something attached to your destiny required his presence. Something needed to be spoken, and if received, could shift your entire path forward. But only if received, only if honored. Because, beloved, what is ignored becomes inaccessible, and heaven does not waste revelation on the indifferent. What was whispered that night was never meant for the masses. It was sent to the few, the burning ones, the broken ones, the battle-worn but rising ones. Those who understand that stillness is not weakness but warfare. Those who know obedience isn't easy but essential. Those who are ready to hear, even when others walk away. You are standing at the edge of something sacred. The whisper has already been released. Now the question remains, did you hear it? Will you obey it? Or will you scroll past the very instruction that could shift everything? Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. He has broken the silence. Archangel Michael, heaven's fiercest warrior and divine protector, has stepped from the stillness and into this moment. And he is not whispering aimlessly. No, beloved, this message is not random. This is not a vague encouragement or passing inspiration. This is a rare call, a classified revelation, delivered under sacred timing for those with ears to hear. And now, you have been brought here, not by accident, not by chance, but by divine orchestration, because heaven has something to say, and it cannot wait. At 11:11 p.m. on the night of June 5th, something opened. A spiritual portal. A divine crack in the heavens. And in that precise moment, Michael, the Archangel of warfare, drew his sword, stepped into alignment, and whispered the words that have now rippled across realms to reach you. This is the hour of decision. The next 3 hours of your life, the very next 3, are not ordinary. They are sacred. They are loaded with consequence. What you do now, how you respond to this whisper, will determine the course of your next season. Delay nothing. Obey quickly. Heaven is watching who listens and who scrolls away. This message is rare, holy, and sealed with spiritual fire. Understand this. Messages like these do not come often. Messages like these are reserved. They are whispered only in divine instruction, not to flatter you, not to entertain you, but to awaken you. Because something unseen is pressing close. A spiritual battlefield is heating up. And while others laugh, distract, and sleepwalk through sacred timings, the chosen ones, the few who feel the stir, who sense the divine weight in their gut, are being marked for movement. You are not here to watch. You are here to respond. To pause. Stop everything. Remove distractions. Still your soul. Shut down the noise. Because the heavens are speaking, and the frequency cannot be picked up by those tuned into fear, confusion, or fleshly interference. This moment requires spiritual clarity. This moment demands obedience. This moment demands your yes. You must lean in, not with your ears but with your spirit. This is not for your entertainment. This is for your alignment. Hear me clearly. Heaven is not speaking to impress you. Heaven is speaking to instruct you. And Michael is not drawn near without purpose. For every time he appears, it is because something sacred is under threat, something chosen is under siege, or something divine is about to be released. His message is sealed with urgency. You have entered into a prophetic window, a 3-hour chamber where spiritual decisions must be made, where obedience must be swift, and where hesitation could cost more than you know. Right now, as these words enter your atmosphere, your spirit is being stirred. There's a reason your heart is racing. There's a reason you feel that divine pressure in your chest. It's because your spirit recognizes what your mind hasn't yet caught up to. Heaven is near. Archangel Michael's near. He stands watch over your name, your assignment, your future. He stands as a protector and a revealer. And tonight, at this very hour, he has broken silence not to comfort, but to commission. What happens in the next 3 hours cannot be repeated. This is a live moment in the spirit. An instruction has gone out from the throne, and only the obedient will walk through what's opening. Listen, you don't need to know every detail to obey. You don't need the full picture to follow the whisper. Faith is your map. Discernment is your compass. And Michael is your shield. But understand this. Not everyone will hear this message. Not everyone will stay. Some will scroll past. Some will laugh. Some will feel the weight and ignore it. But you are still here. You stayed. You leaned in. And that means something. That means you've been marked. That means this was meant for you. And heaven is watching. Watching not for perfection, but for surrender. Watching for who responds when the trumpet sounds low in the spirit, watching for who says yes in the silence. Beloved, you are in the middle of a moment that eternity has already recorded. You are standing inside of a divine interruption, one that could reroute your destiny. So hear this again. The next 3 hours matter. Heaven has set the time. The whisper has gone out. Michael has spoken. What you do now determines what opens next. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $10. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the Support Here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Be sure to subscribe for more divine updates, revelations, and spiritual strategies that align you with your prophetic future. Don't miss what's coming next. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. There is something shifting around you and you can feel it, can't you? You can feel the tension in the atmosphere. You can feel the glances, the pauses in conversations, the subtle changes in tone. People are acting differently. You noticed. Friends who once felt like home now feel foreign. Some are too quiet. Some are too curious. And others too kind in a way that feels calculated. And yet you cannot fully explain it. You look around and say, "What changed?" But in your spirit, you already know something has. They suspect something is coming for you. They can't name it, but they sense it. They see the glow before the glory. They smell the smoke before the fire. They feel the pull of heaven over your life. And they are watching you, some with wonder, others with worry, and still others with envy. You are surrounded by observers, not all of them allies. This emotional friction you've been feeling, this unsettling sensation that keeps creeping in, it's not in your head. It's not paranoia. It's prophetic awareness. You've been awakened to an invisible betrayal, a spiritual disruption wearing the disguise of peace. Because while they smile in public, some have been secretly whispering in private. While they claim to love you, some have quietly questioned your calling. They've noticed your resilience. They've seen how the fire didn't burn you. They've watched how you rose again when you were supposed to stay down, and now they are unsettled. Have you asked yourself lately, why do I feel so watched? Why do I feel observed, analyzed, even misread, all while walking in silence? It's because the anointing on your life is speaking before you say a word. It's because your spirit is breaking into places your body hasn't reached yet. And it's making people nervous. Some of the tension you've been feeling isn't emotional. It's spiritual exposure. Heaven is shifting your seat, and hell is trying to keep you unaware. There's a reason you can't rest the way you used to. A reason your sleep has felt chow. A reason certain environments now drain you. Your spirit is on high alert because your season is under surveillance. Someone, maybe more than one, is close to you, but their heart has shifted. Jealousy, manipulation, even low-level witchcraft, all wrapped in fake affection. God is revealing without announcing. That's why the silence feels so heavy. The ones you trusted might not be trustworthy anymore, and the ones you distanced yourself from were heaven's way of protecting you before the unveiling. You must re-examine your circle. Reevaluate who gets access to you. You must ask, are they pulling me into alignment, or delaying what's about to be birthed through me? Not everyone can go where you're being called, and not everyone wants you to go. Some only love you when you were broken. Some only supported you when you were silent. But now that your voice is rising, now that your identity is firming, now that your eyes are opening, the disruption has begun. But don't panic. Don't spiral. This is not the time for emotional breakdown. This is the time for spiritual recalibration. What you're sensing is confirmation, not confusion. God is allowing the tension to draw you closer. You're not being punished. You're being purified. You're not being rejected. You're being redirected. The betrayal had to happen to reveal the boundary. So pause. Reflect. Ask the Holy Spirit, who do I need to see clearly? What conversation needs to be ended? What doors must stay closed, even if they knock again? Because if you ignore the emotional disruption, you will delay the divine instruction. Heaven is whispering, even through the discomfort. It's time to examine the fruit, not the smile, not the charm, the fruit. They may suspect your breakthrough is coming, but they have no idea when or how, and neither do you. But that's the beauty of divine mystery. It protects what's sacred, and what's forming inside of you is sacred. Type I am awakened in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1010 is now surrounding you. Let's reframe what you've been going through. The confusion, the silence, the tension, the betrayal. None of it is random. None of it is natural. You have not just been under pressure, you've been under attack. This is spiritual warfare, and it began the moment your destiny became detectable in the spirit realm. The battle you're facing is not a punishment. It's a preview of elevation, a preview of promotion, a preview of purpose awakening. And that's exactly why the enemy is threatened. That's why hell has been loud and heaven has been quiet. Because elevation always attracts opposition. And before God reveals your next level, He tests your spiritual hearing. Hear me, beloved, you are not crazy. You are not cursed. You are called. And the silence you felt from God, it wasn't abandonment. It was strategy. That was preparation. That was heaven setting the stage while hell grew nervous. Because when God is about to elevate you, He doesn't announce it. He conceals it in testing. He hides it in stillness. That emotional fog you've been walking through, that mental warfare, it's not coincidence. It's spiritual resistance. Because hell saw the scroll. Hell heard your name. Hell watched the ink dry when your purpose was written in heaven. And so it sent confusion. It sent fatigue. It sent distractions, arguments, delays, all to make you question the legitimacy of your anointing. But you are not being punished. You're being positioned. God is using this silence as a sword. He is using this hidden place to build in you what visibility could not. He is silencing your surroundings to make your discernment louder. Because if you keep moving in chaos, you'll miss the calibration. And right now, He is calibrating you. You must understand, silence in the natural is noise in the spirit. God is not ignoring you. He's developing you. Your stillness is not failure, it's formation. Heaven is not passive, it's precise. God is not late, He's layering. And Archangel Michael is still guarding what you don't yet understand. Every delay, every closed door, every quiet night has been a shield in disguise. You are chosen, and chosen ones are often targeted before they are crowned. So yes, the warfare has intensified, but so has the protection. So has the strategy. So has the heavenly backing behind your name. Every unreturned call, every friendship that went silent, every plan that collapsed, it was divine. God was removing what couldn't handle your next. This conflict is spiritual. This shaking is divine. And this season is holy. So rest in that. Stop trying to fix what God already removed. Stop trying to explain what heaven has already closed. Your silence is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is sacred. It is a spiritual weapon that will confuse your enemies and align your destiny. Because what you're facing right now isn't about them. It's about you. It's about who you're becoming. It's about who heaven is forming when no one's watching. You're not being overlooked. You're being protected. And what's coming next requires the version of you that silence is building. Type "I am covered" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 777 is now activated. Listen carefully. This is not just a season of reflection. This is a season of exposure. And Archangel Michael did not whisper at 11:11 p.m. for poetic drama. He whispered because heaven has seen what you haven't yet seen. And in the next 72 hours, something hidden is going to surface. Something long cloaked in shadows. Something that has been sitting in silence, waiting to strike, waiting to deceive, waiting to confuse your next move, will now be unmasked. This is your spiritual alert. This is the prophetic siren. And if you do not lean into what God is whispering, you could miss your spiritual positioning and must step into a counterfeit connection or a dangerous delay. Someone close to you, maybe emotionally close, maybe physically near, is about to challenge your direction. They will question your peace. They will question your timing. They will say the right thing but with the wrong spirit. Pay attention. Not every challenge is from the enemy, but this one is. Heaven is issuing a clear warning. Delay equals disconnection. This is not the hour to second-guess what God already confirmed. This is not the moment to fall into overthinking. Every minute you wait to obey is a minute the enemy uses to interfere. If you feel the stirring, the urgency, the go now in your gut, that is your instruction. Do not debate the voice of God with people who do not pray. Do not explain your obedience to those who didn't hear the whisper. There is something being stirred behind closed doors. Quiet conversations. Unspoken plans. Someone is gathering words, maybe even gathering others. But here's what you must understand. They are planning for you based on an outdated version of you. They don't know who you become. They don't realize that God upgraded your discernment. They don't know that you are now covered by the heavenly host, and Archangel Michael stands armed and alert beside your name. And still, heaven is giving you this prophetic forecast, not to spark fear, but to activate preparedness. You will not be blindsided if you remain in alignment. You will not be deceived if you stay in stillness. The signs are already around you, but you must decode them in the spirit. Dreams, numbers, faces that pop into your mind at random, a unease in your stomach, a shift in your sleep. All of it, it's communication from heaven. You are being warned ahead of time because your alignment matters too much to leave it to chance. God is preparing to deliver keys into your hand, not physical keys, but spiritual access. New rooms, new favor, new understanding. But those keys cannot be released if your spirit is distracted by the wrong conversations, the wrong alliances, the wrong emotions. Symbols will begin to appear. Fire, tease, a midnight knock, either literal or spiritual. These aren't coincidences. They are confirmations. Don't ignore the signs. Don't dismiss the nudges. Don't brush off what keeps repeating. Because when something repeats in the spirit, it's not noise, it's notice. It's heaven shouting through the veil, wake up. Move now. Line now. Someone is being stirred to confuse you, to plant doubt. It is true. But the Spirit of God is louder. If you press in, if you pray, if you sit with the whisper instead of reacting to the noise, you will see it. You will know it. You will rise above it. And you will not fall. You are not alone in this. Michael is already guarding the threshold. But heaven needs your yes, your trust, your clarity. Stay rooted. Stay watchful. Something is surfacing. And when it does, you will be ready. Type I am ahead in the comments if you receive this message. Lesson code 444 is being released to you. Breathe. Let the stillness wrap around you like armor. For while the world rushes and distractions grow louder, heaven is calling you into a secret place. Not to punish you, not to isolate you, but to protect you, to preserve what is being formed, to shield what is being spoken. Because what God is doing next in you and through you cannot survive in noise, in drama, in constant talking. It must be protected by stillness. So the instruction from heaven right now is clear. Fast from noise. Speak less. Listen more. Pull back from unnecessary conversations. Withdraw from chaotic energy. This isn't about being distant. It's about being discerning. The fewer words you speak, the more clearly you'll hear God's. The less you explain, the more heaven reveals. Be still. Be guarded. Be strategic. Because in this hour, heaven is handling things that would break you if revealed too soon. The reason God hasn't answered some questions yet is because the full truth would fracture your peace. He is being merciful in his silence. He is not hiding information. He is hiding you. Under wings. Beneath fire. Behind angels. Until the set time. Until the revelation won't destroy but deliver. Speak these words over yourself daily. I am covered. I am shielded. I am invisible to what was sent to harm me. What's for me cannot be stolen, sabotaged, or delayed. I trust the silence. I welcome the stillness. I am wrapped in divine fire. These aren't empty affirmations. These are spiritual declarations. Each time you speak them, the atmosphere around you shifts. The angelic army aligns closer. The confusion lifts. The enemy's grip loosens. Your home becomes a fortress. Your spirit becomes a sword. You must begin to visualize the protection. See it. Feel it. Know it. Angels stationed at every door. Light circling your mind like a crown of clarity. Your phone guarded from toxic messages. Your inbox cleared of manipulative words. Your dreams soaked in divine peace. There is a shield, and it is forming right now around your obedience. But remember this, silence is not absence, it's activation. Every quiet season you've walked through has been preparation. You've been learning how to hear God in the whispers. You've been trained in stillness. And now, it's your weapon, is your strategy, is your shield. Speak less. Reveal less. Trust more. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, something is happening. Even when you can't feel the protection, you are being held. Even when you feel alone, Michael is standing. And he is not standing passively. He is standing armed. Standing as a wall. Standing as a watchman. So don't ray the moment. Don't force clarity. Don't break the silence just to feel heard. Instead, honor the silence. Guard your energy. Decline the invitation. Postpone the meeting. Turn the phone off. Protect your spirit, because it's in the stillness that God is giving you strategy. Not just for survival, but for dominion. You are safe. You are covered. You are being handled by heaven. Type "I am shielded" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 888 is surrounding your household. You are not who you used to be. Let that truth echo in your soul. Let it rise up through the weight you've been carrying. Let it awaken your memory and shake the dust from every label that once tried to cling to your identity. You are not the same person who once broke. You are not the same person who once begged for validation. You are not the version of you that they walked away from, laughed at, dismissed, or underestimated. That person may have bent, but they did not break. That version may have been bruised, but they did not bleed out. That version survived, and now you are rising. Archangel Michael did not whisper at 11:11 p.m. on June 5th to someone broken beyond repair. He whispered to someone rebuilt, someone reforged in silence. You're formed in fire. You're born in stillness. He whispered to you, the version of you that emerged after the storm, after the silence, after the stripping away. And heaven whispered, because you are no longer operating in reaction, you are moving in command. Do you feel it? That strength in your belly, that unexplainable boldness that keeps pushing you forward, even when your surroundings don't yet reflect your power. That is divine authority awakening. That is spiritual muscle being remembered. That is what happens when the wilderness ends and the warrior steps forward. No, your circumstances haven't shifted yet, but you have. And the atmosphere is catching up. You are not a victim anymore. You are not trapped anymore. You are not waiting on permission from people who never had the authority to approve your destiny. You are walking in what they feared. You are stretching into the wings that once lay dormant. You are roaring from the mouth that once trembled in silence. You are no longer surviving. You are now commanding. The pain didn't destroy you. It taught you. The delay didn't break you. It trained you. And the betrayal. Oh, the betrayal built you a backbone no man can bend. You've been forged in fire. And now, like a phoenix from the ashes, you rise, not quietly, not timidly, but righteously. So hear this and claim it with your full chest. I have grown in the dark. I have soared in the silence. I have it all in the valley. And now, I emerge whole, wise, and chosen. The lion within you is no longer sleeping. The fire within you is no longer dim. You are not the quiet one anymore. You are not the ignored one. You are not the dependent one. You are the called one. You are the equipped one. You are the heaven-backed, divinely wired, hell-resistant, sword carrier of the King of Kings. And now, you must walk like it. You must speak from that place. You must decide from that place. You must respond, not react. Move in strategy, not fear. Embrace isolation, not desperation. You are not empty. You are full of revelation. You are not uncertain. You are pregnant with divine vision. So do not shrink. Do not minimize your growth for the comfort of the insecure. Do not apologize for the power that's coming from your voice. This is what heaven was shaping. This is what the silence formed. And this is why Michael whispered at 11:11 p.m. Because your identity has matured enough to carry the weight of what's next. You are not behind. You are not late. You are right on schedule. Heaven's schedule. And the ones who once counted you out will soon have to count the cost of underestimating who you truly were becoming. Now speak this aloud. I am not who I was. I rise in divine authority. I no longer react to darkness. I command the light. Type I am empowered in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1111 is igniting your spiritual authority. Now hear this. The pain had a pattern. The warfare had a reason. The silence had an assignment. June 5th was not just another day. It was marked in heaven's scrolls. It was written long before your birth. At exactly 11:11 p.m., a gate opened. A dimensional opening in the spirit realm. A crack where eternity met time, and divine timing collided with destiny. At that sacred moment, your name was spoken. Your name, your full name, was called out in the courts of heaven. This wasn't emotional hype. This wasn't wishful thinking. This was a spiritual transaction. And in that moment, Archangel Michael was released. Not to warn randomly, but to deliver a prophetic secret. One reserved only for the ones heaven has watched, tested, broken, trained, and chosen. Why has the resistance been so strong? Why has the warfare been unrelenting? Why have you been under surveillance by people who shouldn't even know your name? It's not because you're cursed. It's because your inheritance is en route. What's been fighting you is not random. It's because you are walking in the delivery zone. You are not being attacked because of who you are. You're being attacked because of what's about to be handed to you. This is not warfare for the sake of suffering. This is not delay for the sake of discipline. This is the birthing push before possession. Archangel Michael whispered, because you're not in battle, you're in delivery. And like a vault opening in slow motion, heaven is unlocking what was sealed until the right hour. You've reached that hour. Do not miss this. Everything that didn't make sense is about to make divine sense. Every shut door, every silence, every misread moment, all of it was training your spirit to handle what flesh could never carry. You had to be broken before being trusted with breakthrough. You had to walk blind before being trusted with divine sight. And now the revelation is here. June 5th with a timestamp. 11:11 p.m. was the access code. Your obedience is the final key. And the moment you align, truly align, you will feel it. An unlocking, a clarity, an unstoppable wave of sudden understanding, where what was heavy lifts, what was hidden becomes visible, and what was resisted becomes released. The inheritance is not just spiritual. It is also tangible. Resources, opportunities, divine appointments, open gates, connections heaven has orchestrated. But only the prepared will perceive it. Only the spiritually alert will access it. The rest will scroll past and wonder why nothing changed. This is why Archangel Michael whispered. Because some things are too holy to be shouted. Some things are too pure for loudness. This had to be received in stillness, through the frequency of faith. You weren't supposed to chase this. You were supposed to recognize it. And now, you have. This is the reason for every spiritual ambush, every backstab, every long night and heavy silence. This is why you cried and still walked. This is why you lost and still stood. It was never about the pain, it was about the preparation. Heaven never wanted to hurt you. Heaven was getting you ready for this. The inheritance is already on the way. Your name is sealed on it. Your prayers unlocked it. Your obedience has prepared the landing strip. You are not waiting on it anymore. It's searching for you. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Be sure to subscribe for more spiritual strategies, prophetic timing alerts, and heaven-backed insights to align you fully with your divine blueprint. Don't miss the next release. Type "I receive my inheritance" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1212 is now activated over your name. Your next level cannot wait for your old self. That version of you, the one that second-guessed, the one that apologized for their gift, the one that tolerated delay and partnered with doubt, that version is not allowed to step into this new realm. The gates that opened at 11:11 p.m. on June 5th were not designed for comfort. They were designed for activation, and only the activated can enter. This is not the season to keep rehearsing your pain. This is not the season to keep negotiating with fear. This is not the season to explain your boundaries or beg for permission. This is the hour where heaven has stood to its feet and declared over you, move, rise, align, out. Destiny is no longer waiting on external conditions. It is waiting on your internal confirmation, your yes. Not a casual yes, not a convenient yes, but a full-bodied, soul-deep, fear-shaking why yes. So say it aloud. I say why yes to what God is activating. Heaven responds to activation, and activation requires agreement. Right now, even as you hear these words, your spirit is either leaping or resisting, and whichever one it does determines if you walk forward or circle the same mountain for another season. Your next level has been unlocked, but it must be entered. Not stumbled into, not eased into. Entered. With intentionality, with urgency, with spiritual alertness. Do not bring yesterday's trauma into tomorrow's territory. Do not drag dead weight into fertile ground. If God hath been asking you to release something, someone, or some pattern, it's because what's ahead requires lightness. Heavy hearts and compromised convictions cannot soar, and you were made to soar. This is the season where obedience is oxygen. Your next breath is tied to your next yes. Your next instruction is waiting for your last step, and you know what needs to be done. You already know what must be surrendered, what must be silenced, what must be ended. The question isn't clarity. The question is courage. So take action. Physical action. Write it down. Tear up that contract. End that conversation. Whip that appointment. Block that number. Release the resentment. Give God something physical to work with, so heaven can multiply it in the spiritual. Do not just receive this message in your emotions. Receive it in your decisions. Break every agreement you've made with delay. Break every spiritual contract with confusion. Break every soul tie with fear. Stand in your room, in your car, wherever you are, and declare, I break every agreement with anything that opposes my destiny. Speak it until the chains in the atmosphere crack open. You cannot afford to be lukewarm in a moment of divine instruction. You cannot afford to entertain distractions while your divine date with destiny has already begun. The window is opened, but it won't remain open forever. And what God has prepared for you requires the real, bold, surrendered version of you to show up now. Understand this. Alignment doesn't always feel safe. It feels sacred. And sacred things don't require comfort. They require reverence. You will feel awkward. You will feel lonely. You will feel stretched. But that is how you know you're no longer stuck in the familiar. That is how you know you are stepping into the supernatural. So take the step. Say the yes. Burn the bridge to what once held you. It's not coming with you, and it shouldn't. You are being called to higher ground, and higher ground demands higher character, higher commitment, and higher discernment. Your destiny is not delayed. It's been patient, but now it is calling you forward. Type SAYYES in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 3131 is opening doors before you. While the world slept, heaven moved. While your body lay resting, Archangel Michael stood at your side, not in passivity, but in posture of war, posture of protection, posture of divine release. You did not see it, but something holy happened over your life in the night. A silent exchange, an invisible transaction. And now, the spiritual realm is echoing with what was released into your destiny. Michael came with orders. Heaven sent him at the exact moment the clock struck 11:11 p.m. on June 5th, a time written not by earth, but by eternity. That moment was not casual. It was coded. It was planned. And it was pure. And while your flesh rested, your spirit responded. That stirring you felt, that unease in your dreams, that surge of energy just before waking, that wasn't random. That was your spirit receiving a scroll. You whispered a secret. Not a secret to entertain you, but a secret to arm you. A classified insight meant only for the awakened, only for those who would rise with it, speak it, guard it. And that secret, it was your reminder. You have not been forgotten. You have been chosen. You have not been delayed. You have been developed. Heaven has seen every unspoken cry, every journaled frustration, every silent sacrifice. And during that midnight moment, the realm of glory answered. There was an exchange. Where time had been stolen, it was returned. Where joy had been robbed, it was restored. Where dignity had been dragged through shame, it was washed and lifted. All in silence. All while the enemy slept, assuming you were weak, unaware, unprotected. But Michael stood there, sword of fire drawn, eyes blazing with divine purpose. Because the scroll written over your life carries weight. The assignment attached to your name is no longer in pending status. It hath been activated. And because of that, spiritual enemies have been awakened too. But don't fear. Their awareness changes nothing. Your watching eyes cannot alter the scroll. You've been feeling restless for a reason. Your body has felt tired, but your soul has felt alive. You've been more sensitive, more discerning, more alert to patterns, frequencies, and faces. This is not a coincidence. This is the evidence of the exchange. Your spirit knows what your mind is only beginning to comprehend. You are in the hour of fulfillment. Do not ignore what has already been done. This isn't a moment to beg God for clarity. He already gave it. You must now walk in what was whispered. You must act on what was sealed. You must protect what was handed over to you. Because the enemy's strategy now is distraction. If he cannot steal the blessing, he'll try to shift your focus until you abort it yourself. But heaven's signature is already stamped on it. The secret has already been transferred. And all you must do now is stay aligned. Stay guarded. Stay alert. Do not share prematurely what was given privately. There are words meant for now, and words meant for later. There are visions that need to marinate in silence. Let the oil settle. Let the revelation sink. Because in the next few days, you will begin to see signs that confirm this exchange. Divine interruptions. Sudden favor. Gift in relationship. Clarity through conversations you didn't expect. Protection in places you didn't even know needed guarding. It will all begin unfolding, not loudly, but precisely. And you will know. Heaven moved while I slept. Type "I received the exchange" in the comments if you know this message was for you. Blessing code 555 is resting over your home and name. The time for justice is not coming. It has already begun. Even now, while you hear these words, the courts of heaven are in session, and the gavel of divine judgment has struck down what was raised against you. What the enemy meant for evil is being turned, reversed, and dismantled at the root. This is not wishful thinking. This is not emotional hope. This is spiritual justice, and your name is stamped upon it. The trap they set for you, they will fall into it themselves. The snare that was laid in secret, it will backfire. The manipulation, the lies, the character assassination, the smiling betrayals dressed as loyalty, all of it is being undone. Heaven has waited. Heaven has judged it. Heaven has said enough. You were not forgotten in your silence. You were not overlooked in your pain. You were being watched, not by man but by God. And he who sees in secret is now rewarding you openly. The honor that was stripped from you, it is returning. The peace that was stolen in whispers, it is multiplying. The time you thought was wasted in waiting, it is being restored with interest. God does not forget. He does not ignore injustice. He does not remain idle while his children are mocked. He takes every wound personally. And now the reversal is happening, not just around you, but for you. For the one who cried quietly. For the one who forgave quickly. For the one who stayed silent when the lie would have been easy to expose. This moment is yours. The tables are turning. And they are not turning slowly. They are turning with divine force. The same people who laughed when you were low will be silenced when you rise. The same mouths that mocked your delay will be mute at your deliverance. God is not just restoring. He's reversing. Every false word spoken in secret is being exposed. Every blocked door is now being reopened. Every rejection is being rewritten as redirection. And do not be surprised when those who pushed you out begin to circle back. Don't be shocked when apologies arrive from lips that once cursed you. But be wise. Spiritual justice doesn't always mean reunion. Sometimes it means recognition without access. Just because they've realized your value doesn't mean they get to re-enter your story. Let God deal with their hearts. Your job is to walk forward, not backward. Understand this clearly. What felt like a delay was actually a detour for your protection. God hid you. God paused you. God restricted movement not because you were being punished, but because you were being preserved. He saw what you couldn't. He knew it would have harmed you. And in his mercy, he routed you, even when it didn't make sense. But now you're about to see why. What looked like loss was divine leverage. What felt like humiliation was heaven's hiding place. What seemed like abandonment was actually angelic redirection. The rejection was the red carpet. The silence was the shield. The delay was the dance floor being cleared. So when you arrive, there is no doubt who heaven sent. And now comes the multiplication. Now comes the harvest. Now comes the justice, not slow, not small, not subtle, but sudden and strong. This is divine reversal. This is prophetic reordering. This is the glory after the grind. God is honoring every secret prayer, every unnoticed fast, every silent war you won behind closed doors. You're not just being vindicated. You're being crowned. If this message resonates with you and you feel led to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $5. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, You can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Be sure to subscribe for exclusive prophetic insights, spiritual warfare strategies, and the divine direction you've been praying for. We're building something sacred here, and you're part of it. Type God is my vindicator in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 4141 is now reversing what was spoken against you. You were not drawn here by accident. You were not randomly scrolled into a moment of conviction. You were summoned by heaven's whisper, marked by a divine time step, chosen for a sacred unveiling. You are the one this was meant for, not someone else, not a general audience, but you. Because at exactly 11:11 p.m. on June 5th, your name was called in the throne room of heaven. And when your name was spoken, Michael was sent. This message, this unfolding revelation, this sacred rhythm of warning and hope, instruction and comfort, was crafted for your ears, your heart, your spirit. Because your next chapter isn't just important, it is eternal. And only the awakened were meant to hear it. Only the discerning were meant to respond. You are among them. Stillness is your strategy. Obedience is your oxygen. And trust is your transportation into the unknown where blessings wait in silence. Let this truth settle deep. You are not lost. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are aligned. You are anointed. You are appointed for such a time as this. Let go of the need to understand it all. You don't need to have all the answers to take the next step. You only need obedience. You only need surrender. This season won't make sense to your logic, but it will make sense to your faith. You've already been given what you need. Now walk. Walk boldly. Walk humbly. Walk anointed. Your next steps are not uncertain. They are covered. You don't walk alone, you walk surrounded. Angels flank your left and your right. Archangel Michael goes before you. Heaven hovers above you. Glory watches behind you. And the Holy Spirit resides within you. You are not vulnerable. You are vaulted in glory. So take a deep breath. Release the fear. Lay down the confusion. Close the door to hesitation. You've received a sacred word. And now, you must walk in it. Carry it like fire. Guard it like treasure. Declare it like prophecy. This is your activation. This is your final confirmation. You have been sealed. You have been seen. And now, you are sent. You are stepping into a new year of clarity, authority, and holy alignment. What once delayed you will now propel you. What once broke you will now become your testimony. What once mocked you will now marvel at your rise. There is no going back. There is no shrinking down. There is only forward. Heaven rejoices over your yes. Angels are already assigned to your next chapter. And as this message ends in the natural, it continues in the supernatural. Doors are opening. Trolls are unrolling. Paths are being cleared. You are not hoping anymore. You are walking in fulfillment. You walk covered. You walk chosen. You walk commissioned. This isn't just inspiration. This is impartation. Now rise. Type I am sealed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 7777 is activated over your journey now.